All of this outrage over the MLB Fanatics jersey fiasco currently playing out just feels odd to me. Are people really surprised by this? Has no one been paying attention to what this cut rate company has been doing over the past decade or so? The crappy new Major League Baseball jerseys are simply the logical end game. The entire Fanatics business model has been to produce something really cheaply of low quality and to slap someone else's logo on it, whether that be a manufacturer or a sports team. And no matter how hard MLB and Rob Manfred tries to claim otherwise, it's pretty clear that's exactly what happened with the new Major League Baseball uniforms. We know the care and effort and quality that goes into something Nike produce. On the flip side, we definitely know the lack of care and quality that goes into basically any product Fanatics has ever sent to a customer. Again though, this is something Fanatics has been allowed to do for some time now. They have been empowered to undercut the entire sports apparel market and weasel their way into a position Fanatics has no business being in simply because they will work for pennies on the dollar. Why anyone expected that mindset and that business approach to stop at players' jersey is simply naive. It was a foolish practice. The actual product Fanatics puts out, regardless if it's for fans, players, whoever, it's irrelevant. It doesn't matter anymore. That's because they have essentially built a monopoly when it comes to sports apparel and no one can do anything to stop them. They can produce things as crappy and as poorly as they'd like because they have basically driven anyone, any sort of competitor out of business or to a position that is way too marginalized. To that end, if you're Nike, Adidas, Under Armour, whoever, what do you care if you license your brand's logo out to Fanatics so they can slap it on some jerseys or some shirts or whatever the case may be? Even if we all know Fanatics makes crap, and boy almighty, does Fanatics make crap, it doesn't matter because there are no more options left at this point. The Fanatics Major League Baseball jersey debacle, it is not surprising. Far from it. In fact, fans have been trying to tell people, trying to warn people about how terrible this brand was for years now, and no one wanted to listen to them. All of this backlash coming from some circles of the media in the here and now, I don't want to say it feels disingenuous, but it makes me wonder, where the hell were you 3 or 4 years ago when fans were complaining on Reddit and all over the internet about how terrible Fanatics products were? We could have never gotten to this point if you had taken a stand then instead of waiting until it got on the field. This is hardly a new topic. This is not something that has come out of left field. This is something that has existed for some time now, and the only reason it's getting publicity is because it is, I guess, on the field jersey. Better late than never, I suppose, but again, could have been prevented. What the backlash, though, I think is also missing right now is the real problem, the real issue with all of this. It's not the MLB jerseys on the field. The issue is far deeper and far bigger. It's that people should be upset that sports leagues and sports teams are willing to do business with such a dodgy company in the first place, that they have empowered Fanatics to become the giant it has become, despite what, for all intents and purposes, is a bad, crappy, shitty business. Fanatics has done nothing but stifle competition and thus innovation. Unless that innovation is how to manufacture apparel as cheaply and poorly as possible without drawing too much scorn or attention. Now, let's just be real. We know the sports world is not ashamed to take money from just about any company waving the right amount of greenbacks. Let us never forget those FTX patches on umpires in Major League Baseball, or the NBA letting well-known scam company Power Balance use their logo on hologram bracelets marketing under health benefits but providing no such thing. Who cares what your partner's doing as long as those checks cash? That has been the motto for the professional sports world for really as long as anyone can remember. But if we take it one step further to the entire lie Fanatics has sold everyone, that is where we should be annoyed. That is where the problem lies. The entire Fanatics business model, their operational modus operandi, has been to, get sports team gear to the public for less because they had operations breadth and a logistical setup that made it happen. But that has seemingly never ever happened. Jerseys are still really expensive unless you're buying those really terrible, almost knockoff looking quality ones. Shirts, shorts, hats, whatever the case may be, they're also not going down in price. They've either stayed the same or, if anything, become more expensive despite what we were told otherwise. The reason why the leagues and teams are working with Fanatics is because they were going to lower prices. Where are said lower prices? Sure, I'll admit we have more choices as far as what we can buy in terms of shirts and jerseys and all of those team branded apparel, but the quality of what Fanatics does send out is extremely poor for the most part. Say what you will about New Era, but those hats have lasted me decades. Like, I have never ever had a New Era hat fail me, and I've had some for upwards of 20 years now. With a Fanatics t-shirt, you're lucky to get 6 months out of the damn thing before it just starts disintegrating. Of course, we all know why sports teams and sports leagues are more than happy to work with Fanatics. They produce stuff that's really cheap, but those teams and those leagues, they get more money for working with this company because, again, Fanatics will produce stuff and they'll work for pennies on the dollar. Alas, you do get what you pay for, and as Major League Baseball and players are finding out, when you pay for Fanatics produced jerseys, well, don't expect quality, expect really just almost low-res looking uniforms that are ill-fitting and just, they are eyesores. Let's be honest. It did not need to get to this point though. Had Major League Baseball asked just about any fan who has dealt with Fanatics in the past 5 to 10 years, they could have told them exactly what to expect. But again, who cares about the quality of the product, whether it's a uniform, a jersey, or even what happens on the field, as long as you are saving a few dollars? That is sports in the 2020s. Thank you for watching this video. If you'd like to know more about how, well, sports has basically sold its soul to Bally's, a wildly incompetent corporation, check out the video in the upper right hand corner of your screen. Until next time, I am Cheyenne Hollis. This is the Touchback. Just say no to Fanatics branded gear. And as always, hashtag take it out to the 25.